Okay. So this card trade I shared it in the morning. This is a concept whereby you see things of which others are not saying. You ask yourself, even most of guys are asking, how did you get such trades? How did you get a trade like that? A trade where you know you are not going to put a stop loss, but you know very well that where I have marked, price is going to react from there. Then you're targeting at least 200 pips there like that, so you can see how the thing is moving. So the second entry was on the confirmation I got was on 5 minutes. This was already a confirmation, so another entry was on 1 minute. So this is kind of a scalp setup. Another entry was here. So on fx.com, I missed yet on one that shows that I was tapped into, then I went in a little drawdown. So that's why you have to choose these brokers wisely. So this one was, oh, you put it almost on like 30 pips, 30 pips, stop loss, like that. Though there is also another concept I'll teach you. This one, of course, I'm going to show it to you, but also there is another one of which needs to put a 5 pips stop loss. For it, you have to wait, and there are some days when it is hard to. Well, it is anyway. They are all easy. Those are basics. So this is a kind of an advanced setup. So literally the stop loss was kind of like there, like in 20 pips. So you can see how price is moving, really moving. So somebody I entered in the morning, so this is almost 8 1 to 8 170 pips. Of course, on gold, if you I entered with 0.01, that will be $17. So it is little, but somebody making 50,000 and that is not something simple. It's just knowledge. So if it goes to 200, that's $20. So that's kind of a lot of money. But that's not what I'm talking about today. Although I brought it to show you that I'm not just happy with some of you because of your unseriousness, and your unseriousness taking things for granted will make things hard for you. Um, just get serious. Everything runs smooth for you, because there is no way I'll be on a live when I tell you that you be there and I ask that is there any question, has somebody not understood, neither do you ask me any question. I tell you that if a level is created like this, let me say it is a weekly level, a daily level, or a 4 hour, then a candle comes, is created, candle rejects. For you remember I'm dealing with the intermediates. How I have a newbie who is understanding these things, and you an intermediate, you be there and you're not understanding these things. Eh? That's why I'm really pissed off. Then I tell you that when the price rejects, you go one time frame lower, you're looking for a structure like this. Price is moving like this. I gave you something simple because as it taps in, the first low, this low that it created, this area that it created here, is what you mark as what? As an area of a breakout to confirm a storyline. Then you just screenshot that, then you send it to me in my DM. Then somebody, you come very well in my DM, you mark your zone, the rejection perfect, you mark the rejection perfect because it is easy. Then you come to my inbox boldly. After rejection, price moves like this, like this, like this. Then you tell me that this is a breakout. Really? No, that's being unserious. that this is really being unsafe. At least somebody telling me that I have marked a breakout, there I would rectify. But I told you clear that you have to make the zone, the V, the V, if you're dealing in selling, the V level that was created before the rejection is where you mark, and the body, the candle closure has to be that below that low. Then you mark for me something like this. This is really wrong. So that's why I came on live today to show you, to show sorry. That's why I came today on to show you the mistakes that you should not be doing when you are in confirming a storyline. So hopefully you guys, you understood what a storyline is. Really, no, not so. You understood what a storyline is, and really, if I set up, because guys, remember on Telegram, me, I see everyone who has seen my post, in the channel. Even if you don't be on the live yet, I say that this time we have a session and you don't communicate just because you're waiting for my recording, and yet I'm here for you. Ask, even if you go and watch the recording, you don't want to submit works. There are some people, we are 15, but even few are the ones submitting the works, of which it is okay. I will go with those who will move with me. So the thing is, it's not like I'm forcing you to do something that is going to be in your pocket for a lifetime. If you want to do it, and if you don't want it, is okay. But as long as one time you won't cry. If you won't cry one time, which is okay. But anyways, let's proceed. Um, One, I told you about a storyline, how it starts, and the time frame that you look at when you're finding a storyline. And we talked, at first and foremost, we talked about the levels, the types of those levels. Then later, in the previous sessions, we looked at fresh and unfresh. So then I told you, when we are looking at a storyline, we will look at fresh levels. When price taps into it, that zone becomes unfresh, but we don't wait for the candle to close. Immediately when the price taps into the zone we are looking at, we shift our mind to one time frame below to look out for a breakout to confirm the storyline. After that, after the storyline is confirmed, that's when we will be looking for confirmations and entries where we shall be entering from. So these are the mistakes that you shouldn't do when you're doing the storyline. For example, when you're doing the storyline, these are the what you have to put into consideration when you're looking at a storyline. So, for example, let's say we are looking at a weekly area. So let me say this is the weekly area that was created. So this line that I'm drawing, it is an SNR level. The SNR level that I'm talking about, it is the gap, the V, the A, the the A, V, gap. This is what I'm meaning. Of course, you mark it with a line. So, for example, here there is a V level. Let me say, for example, this is how it is. I'm just giving an example. So that is your V level. So this is your marking. So let me say this is weekly. I mean, sorry, weekly A level. Let me say that is the weekly A level. So this is the how you draw it. So you're waiting for a rejection to come in to happen, a rejection to come and happen at that level. Like price has to come. As I showed you how we do this thing, price has to come there, then does what? Does a rejection, like that. So if I have just drawn an A level, you are mature people, you just relate it to other levels that I talked about. So a rejection is done. After that rejection, you go to one time frame lower. So this one is called weekly, because this is a weekly level here, because it has been rejected. Now this one becomes weekly reject. But for you to confirm that weekly has rejected the weekly, it has to break out for you to confirm the rejection. Yeah, to confirm, yes, it has rejected weekly, has rejected weekly, but you haven't confirmed that it is now going to do what? To sell. So you go one time frame low. Which time frame is that? It is daily. So when you shift your minds on the daily, you will see price moving like this, doing higher, like as I told you, doing higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low from that low, doing something like this. Then this move here, of course, in the low time frame on daily, you will see candles moving like this. Then it has to come and do what? Break out for you to confirm that that zone is affirmative. It has been affirmed for selling. So you will be looking at this zone to do what? To start selling price, because it has done a what? A breakout. But as you're studying, we are studying, let me say, we are looking at this is a regular breakout. So in the market, you may find price has created a zone, it came and rejected, it came and did some rejection. So you are going on one time frame lower to look for a breakout. Then the time frame you will be on, of course, this one, the time frame you will be on, this is an A level, of course. Let me say it is an A level, or a resistance of course, a resistance. It is ever like this. A resistance is ever like this, to resist the price from buying, or to start doing what? To start selling. So let me say it is like this. Okay, so you go on one time frame lower. This is, you may find price has done something like this. On one time frame lower, price has done something like price has okay, let me delete here. You may find price had come, was doing like this, and it missed touching there like that. Then it came down. It first came down, then later it came and rejected. Yes, then later it came and rejected. Then it did what? It moved down like that. So we count the previous low that was created before the rejection, which is this one, not this one. Okay, we count this one, not this one. Have you understood that?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So you shouldn't take this. This one is a wrong breakout. You shouldn't take this one. This one is invalid. This one is valid. This one is invalid. This one is valid. So if price does something like this, you don't take that. Instead, when okay, when price does something like this, you take this as your breakout. So this one is the correct one. You take this. You take this as your break and not this. Not this. This is wrong. I'm going to share the PDF. So when price does a rejection and you go on one time frame low, you find some structure, it is like this. You should not take this color, taking it as a breakout. No, you take the last low that was created before the rejection, of which this was the last low that was created before the rejection. So when it's rejected, you take this one, which is this. That's number one. This is number one thing that so on charts it is rarely to find these on charts, but when you spot them out, you should know what you have to do. So literally, uh, most of most of you were marking the wrong breakouts. Most of you were marking this, marking another one that I'm going to show you. Another thing is it also implies when you're even buying. So let me invert. So it is even the same thing, a rejection. So because you have to buy, you should not take this as your breakout. You have to take this as your breakout. Hopefully that is understood. Let's continue. Number two, that's thing that number one mistake that you guys shouldn't do. They are simple things, just the unserious guys are the one doing the stuff. So number two is, if price has rejected, as you can see here. Okay, if price has rejected, okay, like that, then on your move, when it is breaking out, when you're looking for breakout on one time from below, guys, these things, it took me time when I'm learning, so I'm picking the most essential for you to do what, to know. So you have to just give in your time. You go on charts and you look at these things are simple. Where a breakout is, where a rejection is, you mark that zone. You go on one low time frame, you find this, you look for the same pattern, for the same pattern, for the same pattern, like on all pairs that are there. Literally, guys, you have failed to do the right thing. Really, I'm embarrassed. The few of you have done it, of which I know, and really, let me continue. So let me say this is a daily time frame, and when price has rejected, so this is kind of a rejection. Of course, this is our resistance. So price, it is like this, so it wants to sell. So typically when I'm teaching, I like so much drawing when I'm looking at the resistances, but doesn't mean that also it is just the same thing. So I will invert the chart, you see how the opposite side looks like. So let me say the price has been coming like this. It came like this. Came like this. It missed, rejected. Then it started creating another zones here. Then it broke out here inside break like this. Then it sold. This can break out this inside that some of you are sending me. This is not allowed. This one is not valid. This one is not valid. So you should not send to me this. Okay, this is not valid. The valid one, as I said, the rejection, after the rejection, the law that was created, before the rejection is what you take. So this is not the right one. Instead, you take this. This is the valid one. Okay. This is the valid one to confirm a storyline. Typically, is it on gold? Yeah, I saw it on gold somewhere on a weekly. Let me show you something here. You know me, I like. Okay. So you can see here we had a rejection. We had a rejection on this candle here. So it is a weekly. You have to go one out to do what, to look for breakout. You see this. We had, when you put on a line chart, you can see what I'm talking about. We had a rejection. So this is a day. This is on a weekly weeks. But when you look on a daily, they be candles. So this is a weekly zone where price rejected, and the week that rejected opened from here. It came and rejected. Okay, it came and rejected. So it broke. Yeah, it broke out here, of which this is fine. It broke out here, confirming that the daily storyline is the weekly has become bearish. So we should start on looking for sells than buys. Okay, so this is right. This is really right. Though this one happens when you're trading a little bit more low time frames. Let me say, let me go back. I don't want to leave my charts. Let me go back. I don't want to leave my charts, but I know I'll look for them on charts. Though these are just things that you have to know. If price creates the I'm giving more clarification on this, but on charts they are simple. You get, after rejection, guys, put on a line chart and see where the last zone was created. Mark that zone. Put on a line or a line there. It is simple. This is a line chart. On a candlestick, you will see a lot of noise, but on a line chart, it will be simple for you to line up. You will see the structure clearly. You get. It is just simple. Don't harden up things. So this is the rightful breakout. As I say, this is the rightful breakout. This, depending on the chart you're dealing with. So this is a daily on 4 hour. This is the rightful one, not this internal break. Not that internal break. That one is not accepted. For you to confirm a bearish daily storyline, it has to break out from there. So let's continue. Also, let me invert. So as I said, on a bullish trend, when you're buying price, this is a rejection. You're looking at buying price, so you don't take this internal break. You take this outside break. The zone that was created before the rejection, it is what you do take to confirm a bullish story, a bullish daily storyline. So you start buying, you start buying that what that pair depending on the daily storyline. So that aside, let's go look at something else. Let's go look at something else. Let me back this. Hopefully you have understood that the mistakes, guys, these are the common mistakes, guys, you keep on doing. Have you understood that? Hmm?
Yes. I have a question.
Okay, please.
When you were showing us that with the rejection
Mm,
and you went on the daily,
mm,
last time you had told us that when price rejects an A level or a B level, let me
mm,
just use a resistance.
mm.
You have when you go down onto a lower time frame, you have to see a candle closure above
I
before the
say,
break.
when you're dealing with sales, it is below.
Mm,
Yes, so here it was the rejection. Let me remove the drawings. Let me remove all the drawings. This is what you're talking about. Let me go over this broker. Remove this pen. My chart clean. So here I was, because this is what I was using. Yet rejected. This is the candle that rejected, right?
yeah.
You go on daily, one time frame below to look for a breakout. Do you see any breakout or not? Because a new week opened here. Where is the opening of the week? The weekly open was here. This is a Monday, right? So
Mm,
the week opened up here.
mm,
Mm. So that means the week opened there, traded, went and did what? Did a rejection. Then after doing a rejection, it did a rejection, of course. So we were just waiting for a breakout. Where was the breakout? The breakout was on the zone that was created before the rejection. Where is it? You put on a line chart. Do you see it or not?
I see it.
Yeah. Anything else you were asking?
So, so I was asking about the rejection up, eh? The
Mm.
rejection up. It doesn't matter whether it's a candle closure up or a B,
Uh,
as long as it is a rejection
where? Here.
on the A level.
It's basically a week. It is a week that rejects. Remember,
Okay. That, okay. That's what I wanted.
Kiribweshiti, sometimes it may do a rejection. It may do a rejection. For example, the week can open, do a rejection, break out, come and tap us for sales. It sells, it taps in an area where you are going to hit your TP. You move out, then later it comes again, it breaks out this zone. Yeah, I will teach you how you can move with price. How you can move with price. Now, for example, here, this was the candle that is selling, and yet here you can see that it rejected in this candle in this area here. As you can see, this is SBR, right? Support became so it rejected, but you can't see any breakout of a daily So that means we are still doing what? We are selling, though this zone is not good for what? For sales. It is a risky zone. Okay?
Okay.
So literally I base on one time frame, though there is also something called another, this is a risk one, the 2 time frame breakout storyline. It is a risk one, but it is for those who want to take risks, of course you can take it, but I rarely use it. Okay, I rarely use it. Just don't want to go there currently. Let's deal with what is on ground right now. So another thing, when you have understood what a storyline is, when you have understood what a storyline is, you have to put into consideration that when a storyline starts, let me say it started from here. You have when it confirms that it is selling. Let me say you were dealing on a daily time frame. Let me say you were dealing on a daily time frame. When the storyline starts on a daily time frame, it has to stop on what? On a daily time frame. On a level, and a nearby level on a daily time frame. So let me go on a weekly. So in most cases, the way price starts when it is selling, it is the way price has to stop the selling price that was selling. The way it started selling, it is the way it has to stop the way it is selling to start buying. Have you got me there?
Mm. Me, I've got you.
Okay, let me just illustrate here. So let me illustrate here. So for us, a storyline, we name it like, we know that when price trade comes, trades, rejects, this is what? It's a weekly time frame. Let me go a little bit time frame. So when price, it is said that what starts on a daily time frame stops on a daily time frame. What do they mean? What do they mean? Who are they? The market makers. So what starts on a daily time frame? So the selling started there. So people are selling after this breakout. So here there are zones where you start selling price from there. I will show you later. So let me say example, you are selling price of this confirmation that it's selling. When it starts selling like this, because it is creating higher highs, higher lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, like that. So when it comes and it rejects, it has to confirm, so that you move out of these sales that you're here, so that it starts doing what? It starts buying. Eh? Okay. So this was a daily level that it started from. So for you to move out of this level, you have to see confirmation that price has started doing what? It has rejected, it has broken out on one time frame below. So we are looking at buying, not selling. So that's where we get confidence that you're entering, you're finding those areas where you're entering, price to keep on selling, heading to the weekly or daily or 4 hour zone, the nearest 4 hour zone, till they hit that area or that area. To see those confirmation, then you start doing what? You move out of the sales, you start buying, or else you move out of buys, you start selling. Or if you don't see any confirmation, you keep on holding. It is not a must that you have to move out of a trade, no, but you have to see confirmations, then you do what? You move out, or you take partial, then you keep in some positions until you see the confirmation, then you do what? You move out. And those areas of re-entry, those areas are called road blocks. So in another topic we shall learn about road blocks. We shall learn about road blocks before we go on the on what we call entries. Okay, we are going to, because it is also another big lesson, I have to explain thoroughly for you to do what, to understand. So currently, if somebody you haven't understood what storyline is, it will be harsh for you. It will be harsh for you, but it is easy. It is easy. You learn it and you master it in your time. I'm not rushing you, but if you're going at my pace, I know by January you will have mastered everything. So we are remaining with learning the roadblocks. We are remaining with entries, with A plus entries. We are learning. We shall learn about confirmations. We shall learn about the stop, where stop losses we should be. We shall learn about take profits, the break evens, and the risk management. That's what we are doing. What we are remaining with. And when you're entering from this point, which stop loss are you supposed to use? And when you're entering at this point, which stop loss are you supposed to use? You get just something like that. It is little, because this PDF, it has a lot of stuff currently with the entries. So some of you will jump onto work and you start doing entry stuff, but I will teach you everything. Then I start doing what, giving you giving you this PDF. It is worth giving, but if you haven't understood it, yet, it will become a problem to you. Then another thing, in Malaysian support and resistance, there are trend lines. I don't use trend lines, so I won't teach about them. I don't teach trend lines because I really don't use them. So we are not going to learn about them, though they are there. But I don't use trend lines. Yes, I don't use trend lines. So you may be like, Chris, don't you trend lines stuff? No, I don't use trend lines. But as even you see price that is moving without trend, I have never posted a setup with a trend line, no matter what. Though they can be used, but in the way I trade, I don't use trend lines. So if you haven't understood the breakout, there are more context that is coming. For example, the trade I got today. Let me show you why you have to understand, why it is a must. You have to understand the breakout, why you have to understand the basic breakout before I go to an advanced breaks out. So as you can see here, yesterday price broke above this zone, making it fresh again. Then I went on to four. Is it this? Is it this? No, it is this. Because it was already bullish, so I was basing on 4 hour. So on 4 hour we had this area of interest. So you can see price came and rejected, there on that candle. And I'm showing you something kind of advanced. So we had this was set up for today. Yeah, this was a setup for today. So in that area of interest, how did we get those buys? So let's go back to 4 hour. As we can see, where as price was coming up, it did a rejection of this area here, as you can see this. Then we had two breaks out, and this breaks out were kind of different from the ones you know. We had two break out. So if you're just there lazy and you don't want to learn these things as fast as possible, how we do these sniper trades, and you're there crying that this is my future I want, and you're not putting things to work. So we had two breakouts. So this concept, I use it on gold. This is an intraday setup whereby I'm going to risk something to get something. Like for those who are trading prop firms who want a payout every Tuesday, yeah, for finding pips that pays out every Tuesday. So you enter your lot 0.5, it gives you money, then you just wait for the payout. Your $900, you wait for the payout. So we had two time frame, two breaks out on 1 hour. So it's as it broke out, I had to look at the nearest engulfing that led to the breakout of this, the second one. So as you can see this, so the concept that is here, that the reading that is here, I'm not going to give it to you. Why? Because some of you will want to go and start trading it. The concept that is here. So this is the area where I got an entry. So as you can see, instead of taking this, there is a reason why I didn't take this engulfing. So those who know engulfing, then I took this. Then with that, I started marking my levels. So I had the only one fresh level that was there. All of these were unfresh levels. All of these were unfresh levels. They were already tapped into. This is real price action. So this is I have to give you some advanced stuff. You see how I got this buy yesterday, how I got it because I posted it. I got the buy yesterday. So with this, these are the three areas whereby we look at confirmations on 5 minutes. So the first candle that comes on 5 minutes to tap into these areas, it has to reject. Then after rejection, I go on 1 minute to confirm. That's where I get a trade on a cafe level. Then my risk is how many? My risk is still in the same area, 30 pips. So this setup runs in 30 pips. So you can see it is below my entry. Though all these levels can react, but price can never go below here. I'm realistic on it. So even if I enter here, but me, I enter with confirmation. So even you can check other brokers, they had just stopped here. Some brokers and some brokers spiked us into. Though but your stop loss when it is at 30 pips, of course it is cover. Then you enter your thing. So the entry was there. The entry was there below, and the stop loss was at 30 pips. So this is an intraday thing, and since it was a 4, it was running with a daily. Of course, we had to take our TP to the daily time frame. Though this move started off a weekly area. Started off a weekly area where we have entered the price to go and break off this area here. So you can see that the weekly is now done. What is now confirmed? So we won't wait for all these days to confirm the weekly move, then we start buying price. No, we shall go with a trend, then we break with it. So So my TP, of course, it is on the weekly area of interest. So this is the weekly area of interest. Yabadeo, you'll be there. Yoka entry, then you chill out. That's almost, it moved even, it moved how many? 500 pips. No, it moved anyway. This is your TP. As long as they hit your zone. On gold, you have risk. This is how many RR. This is 13 RR on gold. It is insane. So 300 pips on a 0.1 load. That is $395. That's a lot for somebody who is living a simple life. That's almost a million. And when you're risking, when you're literally, let me say, when you're literally risking, let me say, if you have a $50 account, when you're risking, yeah, something like, here there will be much, but depending on the risk, you have to risk a little, so you have to be calculative of it.
Please. Chris,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yes, please.
Badde mpanyisa omukono naye nga tondaba. Badde nsabuzzeeko katono wali ka confirmation 1 minute. 5 minutes lwemala okurejectinga onoonya bunoonya fresh zone ku 1 minute.
You haven't reached that level. Why are you rushing?
Oh, obadde okatulaga awo, sorry.
I was just showing you how I go. How I was just mbadde nkubbirako ekintu ekiri mu advanced nkikuwe nti where we are heading. Okay, saagala mubeere awo nga mugamba nga yabikola atya. This is something simple. Just mbadde ndagako abo abaweddemu amaanyi about the what, about this works zembawa. Okay, nti tebaagala submittinga, and I'm giving them things that are going to work for them for lifetime. Yeah. So you can see this price came and rejected, broke out, rejected, to continue buying. But when it was moving, it had rejected and left two breakouts. It rejected here off 1 hour. How I got these trades? Very simple. I will explain. Reject. I got two breaks out on the low, one time frame below. Rejection, one break, second break. So you can see this angle, it is always there. So why did this time around I used it? Why? I won't tell you the logic behind here, but I will tell you later when we finish. So this is, so after that I marked my fresh level areas where I'm going to buy price in this engulfing candle. Most of you know the engulfing candle, right? So you can see how price really reacted of these zones. Which zones are these? The V and A level. Put on the line chart and see a V and A level. So these are my areas of flips. So I go on 5 minutes. I wait for the candle to confirm. You can see this is a confirmation candle. I went on 1 minute to look for my entry. Simple. These are just the things that somebody does on a daily basis. This is the entry that on Owanda they activated. as I began this session, no wonder they activated and or they activated and we went in a little DD, but on forex.com they swept us. They never tapped into, which is okay. Anyway, that aside, no. The thing is, the main stuff that I was teaching about, guys, is the mistakes that guys you do. The rightful breaks out. That's the main thing that I want to talk about today. Next time in the next session, we are going to look at roadblocks. Roadblocks. So roadblocks in a glitch, for example, when price has rejected and confirmed, like it came, rejected, confirmed. This is the resistance area. Price came, rejected, and confirmed. Then bineno bye mulaba price ekola bineno this till it reaches another level nga wembagambye. These are called roadblocks. These are roadblocks that pull price. There are roadblocks there that pull price to go there and do what? And sell again. Though literally this is just a minor kaneno kembalaze kali kind of amateur naye nga the real structure sometimes it can be like that. Then the price comes somewhere like that. Let me give an example. But remember, you're holding, then it goes down, something like that. It goes again, it rejects, then it breaks out, like this. So these are just roadblocks. Eziletera price okwambuka nezikola ki neziddamu nezitunda these. Can find there's a gap and stuff. So we are going to learn about that, but they are simple. They are not hard. Just that since when something is new to you, it becomes a little bit hard. Do you guys have any more questions? Do you have anything to put across before I close up today's session? Yes, please.
No, I don't have.
Don't have. Okay. You all okay? So guys, let's link up. Let's link up next time as we go through. So I'm giving everything is going to be winded up. This when is today? I know by the time we enter January, guys, you'll be doing some recaps on this, and in January you'll be showing me that you are really worth my certificate. Okay, you will be showing that you're really worth my certificate, because I also do certificates and I send them to you. So you have to prove me right, and you show me the work that we studied. Been to young, but you put into work. It took me kind of long to learn this and that, but as long as I found this, then of course I saw that it is working, and it is working, and it is still working for me, and I think it will work for you by bw'oba okitaddemu amaanyi ng'okiwulira okyagala, si kusoma reluctantly. Okay, don't read reluctantly. So that's all, guys. I don't want to bapika ebintu like I stack things just because I njagala bejjako. I want you guys to study and understand something. That's why I'm there. I'm always replying the messages in the DM. Some of you, since the first session, none of you has ever even like, sorry, some of you have not even sent a message like us asking about what we learned. Mhm. Because I just don't want to leave somebody behind, because where we are heading, it is a point where I'm teaching you how to enter the market. So after the road blocks, you're learning how to enter the market. you you're going to learn how to enter the market. So that is it. So guys, have a good day. Let me
Can I
stop.
ask a quick one about roadblocks?
Okay, please ask.
I'm sorry to ask this, but roadblocks, can they be used for your entry when you're in your swing trade?
Yeah, roadblocks, of course, they are the pullbacks in simple terms. Roadblocks, they are areas where you expect a pullback. It comes there, it confirms, then you sell. You enter again, you
Right.
sell. Yes. That's where you can see somebody is buying, selling. He has buys, he has sells, is buying the daily, because the daily is buying, going to the roadblock and sell, but he's still in the sales and on the same pair. And you'll be wondering how is he doing it.